The gymnasium smelled the way all gymnasiums smell. Floor wax, folded metal chairs, the faint chemical trace of balloons that had been inflated too early and were already beginning to soften. Martin Reyes arrived 11 minutes before the ceremony started and chose a seat in the last row, left side, near the exit door that had been propped open with a brick to let in the June air. He was still wearing his uniform. Gray shirt, dark pants, the small embroidered logo of his maintenance company above the left breast pocket. He had driven straight from a job site in Carver County, a burst pipe behind a wall that had taken 6 hours and a second set of hands to locate. He hadn't had time to go home and change. He had considered not coming at all, and then he had considered that option for approximately 4 seconds before getting in the truck. His daughter Nadia had asked him specifically, "Don't come in the work clothes, Dad. Please. Just, if you're going to come, wear something normal," he had said he would try. He hadn't tried hard enough, apparently. He spotted her near the front, third seat in from the left. Her graduation gown, slightly too long, so that the hem pooled a little when she walked. She had her mother's posture. Straight back, chin level. The careful dignity of someone who had decided early that composure was armor. She was laughing at something a girl beside her had said. She didn't look toward the back. He noticed that. Not the way a man notices something that surprises him. The way a man notices something he already knew. The family in front of Martin shifted and adjusted. A grandmother passing a phone to a younger child. A father lifting a toddler to see over heads. Martin sat still. He had a program on his knee that he'd taken from the stack near the door. He opened it once, found Nadia's name in the list of graduates, Nadia Carla Reyes, with honors, and closed it again. Two of the girls in Nadia's row glanced toward the back at some point during the processional. One of them leaned and said something. The other one smiled with the particular smile that isn't really a smile. Martin watched it happen with the same stillness he'd used for 6 hours that morning, kneeling in a crawl space with a flashlight in his teeth. He did not leave. He hadn't driven 40 minutes to leave. The ceremony was ordinary, in the way graduations are ordinary. Speeches that meant something to the people who wrote them and drifted pleasantly over everyone else. The long scroll of names read in careful alphabetical waves. The soft thunder of applause rising and falling like weather. When they called Nadia's name, she walked across the stage and accepted her diploma with both hands, and for just a moment she smiled a smile that had nothing performed in it. Martin clapped. He was the only person in the back row, so it was a quiet sound, but he clapped. She didn't look toward the back, he noticed that too. Afterward, when the formal program had ended, and families were pressing toward the front, the principal, a tall woman with reading glasses, pushed up into her hair. Returned to the microphone. There was a brief shuffling silence as people paused, uncertain whether to stop or keep moving. "Before we close," she said, "I want to take a moment that wasn't on the program." Martin had been folding his program along its original crease. "This school year, we completed renovations on the Delaney Science Wing. New lab equipment, updated ventilation. 2 rooms that were genuinely unusable now functioning at a level that honestly embarrassed how they looked before." There was light laughter. That project was funded almost entirely by a private donation. "We were asked to delay acknowledgement until after graduation, which we honored. I'd like to acknowledge it now." She looked out over the gymnasium. "Martin Reyes, if you're here, we were told you might not come. But if you're here, we'd like to thank you." The room was not silent. It was full of the particular noise of people who don't know yet to be quiet. Martin stood up from the back row. He was still in the gray uniform with the logo above the pocket. He was the only person standing near the exit door with the brick. He raised one hand briefly, the way a person raises a hand when they've been found in a crowd and want the finding to be over quickly. The principal said, "Thank you," into the microphone, genuinely. People near the front were turning. The information moved through the room in the uneven way information moves. Some people understanding immediately, others still asking what happened, a few already beginning to applaud. Nadia had turned. She was standing near the edge of the stage stairs, diploma in hand, and she had turned with the same motion as everyone else, following the sound of her own last name. And then she had found him. The gray shirt, the embroidered logo. The back row, Martin lowered his hand. He didn't move toward her. He didn't smile in any particular way. He just stood there in the place he had chosen at the beginning, the seat near the exit, and he let the moment be whatever it was going to be. She came to him, eventually. The crowd shifted, and people spoke to each other. And the grandmother in front was photographing the toddler with a phone again, and somewhere near the side doors, a woman was crying. The good kind of crying. Nadia stopped a few feet from him. She was still holding the diploma. "You donated the science wing," she said. 2 years ago. Took a while to come through." He picked up his program from the chair. The pipework in Carver County that covers the rest of the payment. Last installment. She looked at him for a long time. There were things collecting behind her eyes that she wasn't ready to release in a gymnasium, in front of people she had 4 more years of knowing ahead of her. You didn't tell me, she said. Know why? He thought about that. Not because the answer was complicated, but because he wanted to give her the true version, and not the one that asked for something in return. You didn't ask about the money, he said. You asked about the clothes. He said it without bitterness, without weight. The way someone states a fact that doesn't need to be heavier than it already is. Nadia looked down at the diploma in her hands. Martin folded his program and put it in his shirt pocket. I'm going to get something to eat, he said. You should go find your friends. He walked toward the exit door. The brick was still holding it open. Outside, the June air was real air, warm, slightly humid, without the gymnasium's particular chemistry. He didn't look back. She may have watched him go. He didn't know. That part wasn't his to carry.